Welcome to the Lawson and Gift podcast. Make sure to hit that like button, share the videos, and subscribe. We have to make this video because I'm just sick of hearing it, and it would be so obvious if he was coming back. But look, Gronkowski is not coming back to the Patriots.
Why do we have to hear about this every day? Why do we listen, I'm a huge Gronk fan, but he's actually adding fuel to the flames. Like, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. It's that simple. Once you put in the retirement players' papers, I think you should stay retired. And now he's saying, oh, if I could take CBD, I'd play. Like, no, Gronk, you're just endorsing a CBD company. That's why you're doing it. And a lot of players use CBD during the year. It's easy to beat any NFL drug test. You know when you're getting tested, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, I'm just tired of the mixed news. Just because it's the Patriots and, top of the line, he won big games with them, and he's using that to keep getting into the spotlight. Look, I like Gronk. I think he could be a really good color commentator and do some things, but I saw his debut on Fox Sports.
It's been a disaster.
Wasn't good. He was nervous, didn't say his words clearly. So I don't know if that's the line of work that he should get into. But look, it's really easy to know if he's coming back. If he gains weight again and gets bulked up, you know he's coming back. Right now, he's skinny. He can't take those hits.
And there's so much things going on in the season. Do we really need a Gronk rumor every single week? Like, there's so many good storylines in the NFL. That's one thing I'm not understanding. Like, why do we got to hear about Gronk?
And also, well, it's because right now, when people are looking at the Patriots, we've been talking about them and the fact that, they are missing maybe one more element and how much Gronk meant to them. So it's easy to make it into news because of that. I understand why some people are talking about it, but we've already talked about that like 3 months ago. Why do they keep bringing this stuff up? We'll know if he's coming back, if he puts on the muscle and the weight.
Yeah, and we told you guys 3 months ago he wasn't coming back. The Patriots don't play those games. Like, they don't. If you're not all the way in, they're not taking you. It's that simple. Like, if you're not all the way for the effort, they're not taking you. And how do people expect him to come back and play like 40 or 50 pounds less than his playing weight? It has to be like 30, 40, 50 at this point, right? I mean...
Yeah, it's just foolish, and they're just doing it to make it into a story where there is none. I mean, Gronk's cool and everything, but this is getting far overblown. I'd rather see him do wrestling or something, so at least that would be somewhat of an entertaining thing to see. But I just think that with Gronk too, there's no way he could come back because of all the concussions he had. I think it would actually be stupid if he came back, because he literally 5 blackout concussions on top of all the other concussions he had. That's, first of all, that's scary. Second of all, that's life-threatening.
I know for us to get scared about it, it's pretty bad. Like, me and Hugh have a pretty high threshold. We understand the risk of this game, but at a certain point, you're right. He needs to just hang them up and then move on. It doesn't even seem like he's all the way in like the commentating thing either. Like, he's not really even forming sentences, and he doesn't look comfortable. He looks awkward. Like, his neck's crooked like this. Like, it doesn't need to be for him. Like, you don't need to force stuff. So if you're not all in on something, don't do it. You have enough money. You have a financial future. I guess that's the moral of the story. If you're not all the way in, don't do something.
And, I hate to bash somebody about their weight and what they've done to be healthier and everything, but if you're going to go into TV, you have to try to look good on camera. And look, I don't know, Gronk, is he losing some of his comedic expression because of the weight loss? I mean, so we've seen that happen before with actors, and I think that in this case it's hurting him, because you're right. He's a little bit annoying now.
He is.
It's not really entertaining to me anymore.
Because the joke's already been done before. Like, we heard him talking about, Buffalo Bills tailgating, and Giff, if that's what he wants to talk about, that's fine, but that's not really talking about the game.
It's
like,
not.
I know no one on that Fox set talks about the game. They have like 6 or 7 of them now, and like they literally do not say anything about the game. Whenever Howie Long tries to say something actually about football that might be a little bit interesting, Terry Bradshaw interrupts him and starts laughing. It's just so stupid.
It really, the broadcasts are extremely bad. Extremely bad. And Terry Bradshaw, he's another one that should just retire and go enjoy retirement. Nobody wants to see him act stupid and dress up on Fox Sports. I don't want to see that on Sunday. It's just annoying.
And they're all getting by the minute, except Gronk. But it looks like you said, it does look like, as two people who've lost quite a bit of weight recently in the past 2-3 years. I know you've been on the diet like a good 4 or 5 months. People are starting to notice. I was pretty hefty 2.5 years ago. It doesn't look natural.
No, like you said, his head, like his neck is too skinny.
Yeah.
And his head, like his eyeballs look bigger now.
They look like they're popping out, like he's on like Adderall or an amphetamine.
And I don't understand why he went through the trouble to lose all that weight when it was mostly muscle mass. So that's not necessarily a bad thing to have.
Yeah, I understand because it's a little bit tough on the heart, but why would you, even like what he said today, it's like he wants attention, like he's missing being a celebrity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what we saw in Pro Football Talk, how we say, no, if they will let me use CBD, I'll play. Plenty of players use CBD during the season. Come on, man.
Not going to help his concussion history, I'll tell you that.
I know. What are you even talking about?
Pain is, okay, I would say probably a little bit of the reason why he retired, because he was tired of being hurt waking up and everything every day. But, man, the concussions, that could leave him like Muhammad Ali.
And, Geff, I'm a marijuana advocate, okay? But can we stop this stuff with marijuana and CBD curing pain? I mean, it makes stuff more comfortable after a long day, but do we have to act like it's some sort of miracle medication for arthritis? Like, I would agree, CBD definitely helps with anxiety. Smoking weed can definitely make you relax more, makes the back feel a little bit more flexible after a long, stressful day. But can we just stop this nonsense?
Well, I think because I would say little bits of pain and little things it would definitely help with.
Yeah.
But if you're in severe pain or you have a severe bruise, it's not going to help you that much.
And why can't people ever just say like, I like to get high? Like, what's so wrong with that?
It's so far behind with the marijuana, unfortunately.
And then we have everyone's saying, "Oh, I use CBD for my concussions. I use CBD for my back." Stop.
I'm not actually a big fan of CBD. I don't really think it's that potent. I don't think it works all that well. I think marijuana is where it's at if you're going to do anything of that nature.
Like, I understand if people use the CBD in conjunction with THC, especially because this new weed nowadays is like all THC, no CBD. Like, in conjunction, it makes sense. But for all these old people who, the boomers now, they're going, I'm getting my CBD, it makes me lively. Like, anyone ever heard of a thing called placebo effect? I mean, you could give someone an aspirin, you tell them it's MDMA, they'll be dancing around like crazy. That's one thing that I guess is frustrating me about this whole Gronk situation. I know he wants to sell a product. I know he wants to be famous. But he's going to have to find some other ways to be famous because this playing football thing, he probably can't do it anymore. And secondly, dude, that Fox Sports pregame show isn't a good situation. They don't let anyone talk. All they do is giggle about stuff.
Yeah, I've actually seen, because you mentioned Howie Long, I've actually seen him get mad. Like, he looked over at Terry Bradshaw with the most confused, mad face I've ever seen one day because he made a point, and then Terry Bradshaw, like you said, just starts giggling.
Like, you'll be talking about the Chiefs, then I'll be like, yo, Giff, did you see what happened on Deadwood or The Sopranos last week? Like, it makes no sense. And Howie Long's actually sitting there trying to talk football. Occasionally, Michael Strahan will try to talk football, but no one wants to talk football, yet it's a football show. I don't understand it.
And I guess they think it's funny. I guess they're trying to give people that homey type atmosphere, and it's just not working. It's more annoying than anything.
It's so mind-dulling. You feel like you need like 8 Bud Lights just to even start watching it. Like, that's how mind-dulling it is. But like, I guess that's why the ratings are falling for it and why they're paying Gronk big money. But you're right, Giff. He looks really uncomfortable at this. The wrestling thing is probably a better option if he wants to be a celebrity. I mean, he just needs to accept that.
Yeah, I agree. Reciting lines that people tell you isn't for everybody. I certainly wouldn't like to do that to a certain extent. Like, I would find that kind of boring. I like when we're able to just go off the cusp and talk about what we like,
And you got to think how hard that is. One reason why our podcast is so popular, why other podcasts on YouTube are so popular, on that show, there's a little guy in Gronk's ear saying, okay, Gronk, talk about the Giants' run game in 15 seconds. How's that? How's anyone going to learn anything or get any sort of discussion going? And then, you're 12 seconds through your 15, 20-second speech, and then Terry Bradshaw interrupts you giggling.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And let us know what you think about the Gronk situation. And with that, subscribe at the Lawson and Gift Podcast. Make sure to hit that like button.